Hello and welcome in. We have 4 crystals to choose from, and then I'll get some cards for each for a kind of secondary pile selection. No collective reading today, I think, and then straight into the piles. So, pile 1 is this bloodstone. That took a while to get out of my mouth. And I want to note that I don't feel like putting him up, right? Like, he can stand up as a mushroom, but I'm wanting to place him downward. And he's being pretty disciplined in staying upright. He's not like rolling around. Pile 2 is blue howlite. Or a supposed blue howlite anyway. I don't know if it's like dyed. Pile 3 is what I'm thinking is a cool kind of tiger's eye. And this guy is the first one that I looked at when I wanted to pick the crystals for the piles, but he came out being pile 3. Yeah, I just like had to recheck it and like do a take back with that. So there could be something about take backs with pile 4. I also, here's pile 4. Pile 4 is this desert rose. With pile 4, when I was choosing him, I was trying to get another one that was like this tiger's eye, but I was told no, it's behind me. So it was behind a tiny tiger's eye, and then I like moved this guy like up a bit to like look if there were any behind the one that looked like that, which is like here. And then there wasn't a crystal there, and I looked behind this guy at another smaller thing, like, is it that? And I was like, no, and then I was like, oh, it's this guy. It felt so right, it just fit completely. It's just that I was looking for smaller crystals because it was the size that I had experienced before, but this is massive. So, looks funky, but doesn't it really fit the energy? It still fits. Cool, so that's the little tidbit about each pile. So, cards. Let's do animal cards first. Unexpected. Pile 1 is higher calling. That's not all in view, is it? Ah! See, like that, that's what he wasn't doing before. Pile 2. I feel like pile 2 is an animal that isn't in this deck. Which is weird that I'm saying, because there's a personal choice card in here, which kind of allows you to have an extra animal, but I feel like it's not going to be that comes out. So it could be an animal that's close to a ladybug for pile 2. Ooh, I kind of like that blue on the red, or the ladybug feeling. Oh, maybe it's a blue ladybug. Okay, pile 3. This one. Squirrel. I wanted to keep reading with pile 3. Like, let's go, let's get into it. Pile 4. Woo! Yeah, when I said pile 4, I felt like I was saying not the final pile. It felt like there was more to come, which kind of goes with lizard regeneration. You're not at the end, you're at the beginning, but actually they're both the same. Ah! Okay, how's that looking? Cooking. I just said good luck, Chuck. At the back of the deck is Cougar Assertive, but backwards. It's kind of like you're reading that for someone else. So maybe the universe, other beings outside of what you consider yourself, if that's possible, to maybe it's them that are being assertive, lots of energy moving in that way for you. I want to get a few cards for the pile selection in this weird pile selection. And that is giving off an energy of like, being prepared. Pile 3 is influencing us all too much. Okay, pile 1. It's like a feeling of once I get into each pile, it's like straight in. Like no hustle and bustle, no like gentle moving through, getting accustomed to the energy. It's like bam. I'm not saying that's true about the readings, but that's definitely an energy coming through for the collective that I said I wasn't going to do. For those of you here. Prop. Oh, this was a recent back for me to draw. I like that it's going to look like these white cards have borders. Pile 2. Pile 1 is being thrust onto a boat. Or they were thrust onto a boat. I was kind of feeling past lifey stuff. For possibly pile 1. I wasn't really feeling it in this section, but it's like I was wanting to do that for pile 1 before getting anything for them. So this is pile 2's card. There's no back on this one. Backless. However, do you move? Okay, pile 3. There are also loads of seagulls circling above me, around me, in front of me, which is very cool. They don't always do that there. And it's like loads. I don't know, there's like a whole colony in the area, but they don't often come like really, really close to where I am. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm gonna say it goes this. Oh, but it could go that way. I think it goes this way. I feel like it doesn't though. That's pile 3's card. I didn't even see the little guy. Blonk. I love that the lizard head is just like poking up above the crystal. It's like a new animal. This is the shell. It's the spikies. I want to choose deliberately the card for 4. It's like I saw one I wanted, but I don't see it anymore. And that's the kind of what the message at the start was with the like, I saw the mini crystal that I wanted to start with, but then it turned out to be the massive one. So maybe, yeah, I'm not gonna get the one I want. I'm getting something just so much bigger that fits way more, but hadn't even. It's like I had an inkling that it was gonna be so, but I hadn't really trusted it. Much, much bigger. It's like me. My family all thought I was going to be tiny because I was always small as a child. But then I grew to medium size. Now this one I know goes this way. And I always think he is like an invisible spaceship. This is the spaceship. And these are like three beings who are like around it that have a say in the direction and the aptitude of the ship. I have no clue what that means. And I kind of wanted to get some character cards for each two. Pile 1. This is weird. They usually come out by now. Do you see how that happened then? Tanaka. They usually come out by now. I hope I remember that for when it's their turn. It's my time now. Ho ho ho. And a bottle of rum. That's pile 2's. Dap dap dabble dabble dap dap dap. I imagine that with a like a nurse healing a wound. So pile 1 had Tanaka-kun, pile 2 has Himamori Luna. Check. Why are we checking off her? Check. Okay, pile 3. Woo! Pile 3 has funk. You got funk, don't ya? Pile 1 was agreeing with that. That's why the crystal moved then. Like, yep, they got funk. It's like pile 3 is claiming themselves as having funk, and then they're seeing the mirroring of that, the agreement of others. Yep, they got funk. So they have Alpha. I was gonna call her Alpha-kun. So there could be something about not identifying with something that is often identified with, or changing who you see yourself to be, and also others respecting that and being like, oh, I see it. And also Lifeline. Also companions, because I'm seeing her holding the camera as if the camera is a dear companion of hers. Dump. And look, the crystal wants to sit like on her lap. We're not going to be able to see this card at all for pile 4. Let's move the Himamori Luna's crystal there. Tanaka can go on top of his hands like he's balancing it. There we go. It took a few tries to get it right. But it was more like, for me, he was just staying still, and I was the one doing the few tries. Okay, pile 4. It's this one I know. Blank. I'm gonna take it though. I'll take it. I'll take it. I really will. There's something about threatening with pile 4. If you don't live up to those conditions, I'll take it. Oh, that could be actually really emotional. Okay, we'll see when we get to pile 4. the back is Kaiman. And the invisible gyoza fairy flying around him. Okay, let's put them back. Back and away. Okay, welcome in if I end up doing a secondary timestamp. I was just gonna question, like, do I show them, like, show each of the card for each pile again, and I'm definitely not gonna do that. So there you go. There are the piles. See you at your piles. Pile, 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 pile. Now I'm hearing that word in a different way. Piles. Okay. You come with me, Mr. 4. Fantastic Mr. Fox for pile 4. Oh, I love pile 3's energy. Pile 2 makes me flabbergasted. Pile 1, we begin with you. In the place of all beginnings. Welcome in, pile 1. I feel like I shouldn't be beginning yet, but there's something strong about beginnings for you. Like the root of all roots, where you began. I'm wondering if this is going to be a particular cluster of stars. This is what I kind of heard, but resisted. I think there's a darkness coming through in your reading, and I think it is that of, like, the womb. So maybe we're talking about past lives, maybe we'll be talking about the beginning of this life in particular, for, like, the creation of your body. Maybe what you experienced in the womb. That might be coming through. Okay. Let's get these up here. I want to start with a drawing for you. I want to call it a sketch, though. And with that, I'm hearing a sketch, like a rubber. No, not a rubber. Like an art piece, a acting sketch. Okay. Take me to the beginning, pile 1's beginning. Is that in view? Yeah, it is. Okay. Is it in view? There was something very undecided about your beginning. And so many layers. There may have been an understanding of the process that was both equally in love and equally in distortion. It feels as though there's a very specific idea of what will come through, of how your placement in the world, in all that is understood. There was a set plan, and for the most part it was stuck to. There was an inconsistency that wasn't expected. It caused a lot of mental anguish, but not in you. There's something that enabled you to escape, something that really, from looking at most experiences, should not have been able to be escaped. I wanted to like rephrase that like a scoop. Like escaped sounds like a wrong word. There's something that was considered like wrong or like not of the ordinary type. I don't even want to call it like you didn't fit in here. I think you brought something that wasn't comprehended as being brought. I keep saying things that are like off and like misfit energy. However, it's not being shown to me through the drawing. Through the drawing, it's like, yes, everything is going according to plan. Everything is just as I had planned. Everything is perfect. And like by appearances, everything seems to be in order. But it's kind of crazy how they missed something. Because I see so much darkness in this lion card. And yet the whole like disposition of the card is very bright. It's lion, it's the sun. And it's like it's pretending that it's sunny, but there's so much darkness surrounding it. And Tanaka is a character who sleeps all the time, but somehow like just that's not like a big deal or anything. Like he just sleeps through the entire class and gets carried everywhere, but somehow it works out. Like it's never like a trouble thing. Which is the feeling of like you flew under the radar with something, but that wasn't helpful. It's like you weren't helped in a way that you really ought to be helped with. Okay, I think that's it for the drawing. Okay, we'll leave that there. Let's get more cards. Just take the, what are those called? The blank cards out. I think I want to get tarot before. Maybe we'll do that just after. Okay, pile ones. Womb experience, their beginning. Yeah, see this card? It's like this is an entire barrier. And this is the perspective. This is like the parents, doctors, whatever, everything else that is taking care of you. And it's like the left entire side of the card is you, and there's an entire like barricade to seeing like a flower beneath, because the top of it is being perceived as a fire, like it needs to be blocked off, like it would harm the perspective, I heard ulterior motives of the parent, but it's actually a flower. Okay, so pile one. I'm really being drawn to like a tuft of fur in the front of the lion's mane, which is making me think of like a particular aspect of yourself that is really beautiful, that is particularly like it's quite you. It's like a wonderful part of you, but I was seeing it like other people or your parents may have shunned that part, so you grew to like hate a certain part of yourself that you would otherwise love. Or even if it doesn't come through with hate, it's like an insecurity of sorts. For some of you, it's because it didn't fit the norm, and the card came out when I said that. But I was unsure about saying that. There seems to be a lot of unsureness in your reading. I was expecting to be more fluid and flowing with the messages, and even though there is a very much like set tone for this entire reading, I'm having trouble navigating it, which is making me feel like you're really questioning something, or you don't even question it. So Sirius B, I don't know if I said that, is the card that came out for you. It could have to do with your intuition and saying that the card Empathy comes out. So a lot of water. You may really resonate with water energy. With feeling the emotions of others. Oh, more again. Feeling the emotions of others. And that feels like that barricade there. So that your empathy may have been shut off, or your degree of sensitivity may not have been encouraged. I was also seeing that part of the mane that I said was sticking out to me. It's like a curl, and that can speak to creativity. It makes me think of redheads, and redhead energy to me is very, very sensitive, and also very I can't find the words for it. Okay, so I guess we'll just go with that. Creative and sensitive. You may have been made to feel like you were too much, like your sensitivity was a burden. You may have been told to, like, that barricade shut off from your emotions, whether they were too much or too wrong, like what they were. It may have been difficult for you to feel safe navigating through the world. There's a degree of not feeling fully held, but there might have been a strong perception that you were, because like I kept saying with the drawing, it's like everything went according to plan, even though it didn't. Or it's like everything looks right, everything. The way I was drawing this, I knew what I was going to draw before I drew it, and that doesn't always happen. And I was kind of expecting the drawing to go in a different way, for me to then say the energy that, or get confirmation on the energy that I was feeling, which was that something went wrong, quote unquote wrong, or like there was something up. But it didn't. It kept flowing. It kept looking right. There could really have been something about appearances, like you needed to act the part. Maybe seem put together, even if you felt something other. Okay, let's get some tarot. At the back is you, which was the back of the deck before I started shuffling, and the card underneath wants to come through too, which is feminine. Yeah, so much feminine energy in this. I'm even thinking of reptiles, like watery reptiles. But it's not amphibians. Okay, interesting. There's something about there being so much power within a part that was shunned, within your emotion, so much power within your ability to pick up on everyone else's feelings and everyone surrounding you, including your own feelings and emotions and experience, to a very strong degree. And reptiles can also get a lot of like negative perspective on them, which feels like this. It's also making me think of shape-shifting and transforming. You're able to mutate, you're able to shift energies very easily. And when I first said you, I heard it like you as in Y-O-U. So there's a lot about the other. You may not have felt like, or it's maybe not in feeling because of that whole, like, it doesn't appear this way. Your experience in the womb seems to be something that was more conditioned than it may have appeared to be. Like, it was very much perhaps for the parent, as opposed to like having been approached with an openness to seeing who you are. It feels more like a strong expectation. Oh, maybe that's what that drawing was. Like, there was never a sense of like, oh, I wonder who this child is. There was like okay, this is who you are. Like, I tell you who you are. And it feels like there wasn't much room for leeway. And I'm kind of seeing this Tanaka card like, yes, in appearances, there's a respect, there's a namaste, which is like honoring of the other, love. It's like on the surface, it seems to be love, but his eyes are completely black. It's like there's nothing behind the surface. Like empty actions or empty affirmation of love. There's something about your breathing too. I feel like you have a very healing presence, or like it's, I don't want to say quite healing, like that could be true, but it's more about your degree of impact. I feel like others can impact you very strongly, which is the power that you have, because I'm kind of seeing your breath and it being so much more alive than the people or many of the people, those around you, have ever experienced. It's like, how do I explain this? It's like I'm viewing you breathing and someone hearing that, but it's like feeling it. And they don't know what to make of it. They don't really understand it, but, and it doesn't feel like you do either, but there's like there's an incredible power that comes from it. Like it's like all the energy that you take in, that you perceive outside of yourself, then gets transmuted within you, and then when you breathe out, it's that energy in like the heart of it. It's your breath reflects what you pick up in your surroundings. It's like a condensed globe, a condensed what are those called? There's a good emoji of it. It's used a lot in pick a card reading titles because it's like the crystal ball. It's like that. It's like you condense an entire experience, an entire environment within your breath. Also, this You card, I want to point out, is the only card that has the word twice, the name of it twice. Which feels, yes, like the first thing I see with that is the empathy of you mirror others. You mesh with them. You understand them to such a deep degree. And we're talking about the womb here. And I'm seeing it like you were this sensitive to begin with. And that was more shut off. Often I will see it more like empathy coming from the need to understand the parents in order to react appropriately. Like there was this high expectation of being a certain way, which would definitely require a level of emotional intellect to accomplish, to be that which was required. But I'm seeing this more like it wasn't so much created, it was already very much there. I'm gonna get back to it, but there is something about your healing nature. I just can't quite understand it yet. Okay, let's get some tarot cards now. It's like a clearing that you do without needing to do anything. It's like your presence, your breath. It's like you have a crystal within you, and it's like a purifying crystal. And because you're so sensitive, you're constantly taking in all of the energy of your environment, and thus it passes through the crystal, which cleanses it. And with the breath out, it's like you breathe back the truth of a character, whether that be an individual or a greater individual, which is to say environment or space or country or planet or so forth. You may resonate with enmeshment trauma. That goes with empathy. And especially with this, the drawing being with that high expectation of, I already know what you're going to be. So it could have been that your parents felt, or one parent felt like, I know what you're going to be me. Mini me. Because Two of Cups upright feels very much like a healthy entanglement where both parties are looking out for the other. But Two of Cups in reversed feels like that same entanglement, but it's more of like one being wrapped around the other and tightening its grip without enabling it to grow in the way that it wants to grow in. It's very fixed. It's like an expectation that it grows around them. Ooh. Eight of Swords in reverse too. I don't always take reversals, or I'm really noting this reversal. It's feeling like I've never seen this before. I've never seen this before. What does that mean? Yeah, with Ten of Pentacles at the back of the deck, which was kind of in reverse, but I don't know. I'm reading it. Not really mattering. It feels like an Hierophant popped out, which is like both very traditional. Like what will you add to the family? Like, not with like an open-mindedness of taking care of what the truth of you adds to the family, but with a sense of you must add this to the family. And it could also be that there was a strong attachment from your parents for you to stay close. Because this Eight of Swords in reverse is making me think of being taught that you're unable to be free. Being taught that you're... Let me get another card to clarify that or give me a bit of information. Five of Wands. It's like... It's the feeling of both you need to stay in conflict, like you have no choice. But also, Five of Wands in reverse is making me think a bit of avoiding conflict to begin with, like gaslighting into making you feel like you didn't exist and like your emotions didn't exist. Like any pain you felt wasn't true. Like any needs you had as an individual weren't real. It's not that there was like a no, you can't get them met. It's a feeling of gaslighting you into feeling like they didn't exist. I'm not going to keep that five of thingies there. Five of thingies. This could be confirmation for some of you. You may have had a very masculine mother figure. There could have been a lack of warm, soft, nurturing energy, which kind of comes through for you, and maybe you took on that role. Or maybe that's just how you are naturally anyway. I feel like you took on that role. You may have felt like a parent yourself as a child. I feel like there was an emotional disconnection. So I feel like it might have swung either way for you. Of you may have been either really overly emotional as a child, or you completely lacked emotion. For those of you where you lacked emotion, you may have either gone through a period of, or you still do feel unable to cry, or like a numbness. And this could come through in several ways for you. This could manifest physically in ways too. Nine of Wands. There was a lot of struggle in your childhood, it feels like. But again, it may not have felt that way to you because of this numbness. It's like a feeling of not being allowed to be aware of your own pain. And just all of this essence of like, I can't get over this card. It's like the focus is the lions, and they're like bright. But like no one's talking about how the entire card is dark and gloomy, and I feel like the grass is dying behind. It could have also been that you experienced a lot of turbulence in your childhood. I meant in your home, but that other parties, like outside influences, outside friends, family, school, whatever, they weren't aware. There's a sense of like we do things the way things have always been done. there may have been like an intense strictness, like a very specific formula that you followed. Religion may have played, or faith, it's like a particular way of living. Feels like it played a strong part of your childhood and began in the womb. Okay, I still feel really weird. Let's get some runes. Close your ears if it's gonna be too loud for you. Which is weird of a saying, because that's like me saying you should know how loud it's gonna be. Yeah, there's a feeling of high expectation, but it may not have ever felt like that. Hagalaz. Hail. I feel like you had a lot of chaos in your childhood, but it was like pushed under the rug or never really seen. Get some dragon and animal cards too. I'm actually hearing pause a moment. Okay. I'll sit with this for a bit. See if I find a more condensed way of describing this. Oh, that might have been what it was for. I kept getting for your pile the song Daydreaming by the band called Paramore. And I thought of that just then because I was seeing this hummingbird and thinking you weren't allowed to dream. Or maybe you experienced a lot of escapism, or you lived in your imagination. You could have liked playing pretend a lot. Imagining what a different kind of life felt like. There may have been a really strong disconnect from your family members that was actually presented as a strong connect. I want to get a bit more on that. Help me understand that or express that. Air and fire dragons. Okay, so there could have also been like multiple of these difficult influences for you. And I actually feel like not saying there could have been, I feel like that is, if you resonate with this reading, a strong possibility. Multiple like clashes of the ego that wasn't always spoken. There could have been a lot of passive aggression, passive conflict in your family. Expands your creative energies. Harness your creativity, excitement, and enthusiasm. Communicate your passion. There could have been a lot of arguments with words. Maybe it wasn't passive. There's something about very passive energy here, though. For some of you, I feel like you had a sense of hiding away from it, which brought a strong disconnect from your ability to be close with family. We also have bat, see through illusion into truth. Yeah, I really feel like a lot of you may have felt like you had a very supportive childhood. because otherwise illusion wouldn't be here. But one thing that I have found helpful has been recognizing that emotions don't come from nowhere. And it's so simple, but I think for me it has been a very powerful revelation. Yeah, I want to say it again, emotions don't come from nowhere. And I feel like you have a lot of emotion. You deal with a lot. You may have experienced a lot of stress. I really feel like this would be the pile who has extreme anxiety but doesn't realize that that is anxiety, or doesn't realize that everyone doesn't feel that way. Like they don't, like you might not realize that you're stressed. You might not realize what it feels like to not be stressed, to not be looking over your shoulder, or to not be trying to see what the people around you are wanting of you, to be viewing life through your own eyes. Orange Dragon brings soul, family, and communities together. Spread belonging, warmth, and oneness. Bring people everywhere together. See, this is like coming on the other side of the Hagalaz. So I feel like this is coming up because it's like what you didn't experience. And it's also reiterating that this is about family. Or where you were brought up. I want to draw the attention again to air and fire. Air, communication, and fire. Like it burns. You may have been told many things that left a painful imprint on you. I feel like in the same light, words could be really healing for you. You may have also learnt to heal with words, or you are very intentional with what you say, or maybe the way you say it, because you have felt the pain of receiving harsh words that hurt. Yeah, there's also a call perhaps to look at the way that you navigate through life and recognize that perhaps if it is more intentional, or if you do have extra like tenderness, that perhaps that specifically comes from the understanding firsthand of what it's like to not receive that tenderness. I'm being drawn back to that, like that you were the feminine energy in the household, in the family. Where there was chaos, you brought a sense of peace. And I feel like there could have been a strong reliance upon that. You were relied upon for companionship. Some of you might have been brought up by single parents that may have treated you like their partner or like a friend instead of a child. You may have felt more like you were on equal footing, or like there was extra responsibility on your shoulders, without that being very... For some of you, maybe it was very easy to recognize that you had extra responsibilities, but for others of you, it was an emotional responsibility that may have been harder to identify as responsibility. Yeah, I feel like you were somewhat of an emotional caretaker. It could have been that you can identify, it could be that you could identify this within your parents, that they were very stressful, and maybe you don't realize how much of like a healing presence you had on them, and that's why there was such a strong grip on you, because of the feminine energy that was lacking and that you brought, because of the love that you brought. I want to reiterate that it really feels like you come from an intense childhood, a tumultuous one, a lot of heavy emotional, I was trying to say emotion, so emotional. Some of your families might have had a lot of emotional outbursts. They may have been very sudden and explosive. They may have they may have come on really soon, like very quickly, very out of nowhere, but then its impact was very long lasting, or it could have been like heavy for days, or heavy for long extended periods of time. And so there might have been like a sort of thick shell that you used to cope. You may be able to shut off and on with your emotions very easily. Like when it's called for, you can tap into that healing, loving energy to provide support for others, but you can just as easily disconnect from your own needs or your own sensitivity when it gets really hard or when it's chaotic around you. Some of you also may be currently in professions that are to do with like family diplomacy, family healing. And maybe some of you didn't recognize just how much of a painful childhood, a painful family that you came from. And maybe there was maybe you're realizing how much, I feel like you're realizing how much more of what you do comes from, or the way you live comes from the desire to help others in the same situations as you came from. At the back of the deck is Green Dragon, helps you tune into the secrets of nature. Receive answers and guidance from nature, align with your divine essence. Lilac Fire Dragon transmutes through, that transmutation transmutes through the power of divine love. I don't know how else to say it. How else to say that? Open up to the transcendent love and enlightenment. Open up to transcendent love and enlightenment. True. To the. Why the? Because I think it's opening up to the transcendent love and enlightenment that you provide. I feel like you're seeing the amount of impact that you have, and recognizing the pain you've come from, I think, is allowing you to tap into this energy yourself, for yourself. Purity of heart brings peace, hope, and joy. Yeah, those cards want to like overlap. So, and they're the same color of purple at the bottom. See, the past is like orange and red. It's very, I heard the word enigmatic. It so goes with that. See-through illusion into truth. don't know how to word it. Sometimes you may feel like, how do I explain that? It's like a feeling of stress that feels like you should be crying, but you're not crying. It's a feeling of like, I know I'm in pain, or I know that I'm finding this difficult, or I know that this is a difficult emotion, but there's like the inability, there's like a deadness to it, like a blankness. A feeling of perhaps not feeling like it's safe to be fully sensitive. Which is really interesting. At the back of the deck is the green dragon again. It's interesting because it's like what you provided was the same thing that was shunned. It's like what you were appreciated for is this very thing that you were also criticized for. Okay. I want to get some animal cards from here for you. I'm thinking of animal like your natural nature. I actually think it might have been the other deck. We'll see. Maybe some will want to come through from this. We have beetle, which feels like it transmutes very heavy, very intense energies. So a reiteration of that. At the back of the deck is whale shark, and I feel like that's saying for many, and it also makes me think of family again. Some of you may not recognize just how much you've done for your family. They may have... I just heard like a conversation really quickly then. They may have, or they may do, try and make you feel as though you haven't done enough for them. Because if you recognize just how much you've done for them, it might draw you to more of a feeling of wholeness, of that you are enough, or seeing the extent of love that you provide. In essence, it's like they don't want to lose that which you give, so they don't feel like they can get it themselves without you. So they might try and keep you trapped. Yeah, I want to reiterate, even though for me personally, I don't think this is a condition to focus on, the message wants to come through again of recognize just how much you have done for your family, how much love you have provided them with, and that love isn't something that just like evaporates. It's something that has like shifted the makeup of who they are. It has provided them with like a blueprint of what is possible. I feel like you provided your family with a parental energy that they never got as children. So just like you didn't get this energy as a child, they didn't either, perhaps, and you provided that for them. So you might have family members who really look up to you, even if they're the older ones or the younger ones. You may have also looked after your children. That could be true too. I was trying to say looked after your siblings. Oh, perhaps you may have looked after your siblings as though they were your children. As though they were your responsibility. So we've got Dulahan and Shiona. So that was like a particular spirit that I have connected with. She's such a darling energy. She feels so innocent. She feels, and this isn't even true about her, I think, but, well, I'm not sure. I'll see as I say it. She feels like she doesn't have a care in the world. It could also speak to that mystical energy of perhaps, like, the lows of the lows and the highs of the highs. You could resonate with being bipolar, or with just going to, I don't really know what that is, but you might experience like extreme lows and extreme highs. There's something about your imagination here. That your imagination was possibly very key in your ability to survive. The great chickpea. And I feel like your ability to experience the lows of the lows and the highs of the highs, like you've experienced the whole thing, the whole, what's that called, range of emotion, range of experience. What that's led to is like a great divinity, a strong connection to spirit, perhaps. A sort of is giving spiritual leader vibes. If you've come from other piles, that recently there's been like a leadership pile in lots of the readings. So that the reason I'm saying that here, why am I saying that here? There's a feeling of you've not seen this before, but you may pretend that you have. It may be thrust upon you that you have, or I think there's that maybe inability to see the extent of your gifts, the extent of your like wholeness of experience, of your unlimited perspective, that daydreaming energy of like you can, and empathy, it's like, and everything, it's like you can really tap into so many different viewpoints, so many different energies. You can really embody what it feels like to be anyone, anything. And I feel like saying that there are so many, or there are so many, both in physical and spiritual, or physical, who respect you. There's a bit of an untouchable energy with you. Because you've been around every perspective. There's a sense of, because you know what it feels like. You know what suffering feels like, and you know what bliss feels like. There feels like such an acceptance of all here. There's an unconditional love you have, yeah. I think that's why I'm going to end your reading, pile 1. Ending it on, you have come through pain, and you are tapped into an unconditional love that played a part in why you were so valued, but also is equal sign, like that is what enables you to have such strong connection to unconditional love. I think I'm shaking my head, or I'm seeing someone shaking their head. I don't think that's true. I keep getting for you, like, it's not a sense of like this love being taught to you or being like grown through the coping mechanism. This feels like something that you have learned over lifetimes and lifetimes to embody, to tap into. So it's like you've gone down the rabbit hole so many times that and then reached that enlightenment of love again, so many times that it's just, it flows through you and you don't disconnect from it wherever you are. So again, that unconditional love that you have, that you always had, it's what made you such a valuable specimen. It's why there were so many illusions that needed to be surrounding you in order to keep you stuck, to keep you not seeing just how much you are worth, because there are those who feel like they want you around and that they don't have that degree of value to provide you with. Yeah, so pile 1's the unconditional lovers. Namaste. See you in another, if I do. Gotta say, I wasn't expecting that kind of a reading. Cool though. Runes. Whoa, it's 1 hour 13. That flew by. Flight. Where are you? There you are. Hide and seek. Ah, I love hide and seek. I have like a specific game of hide and seek that pops into my mind every like 3 years that I played with. It was like my dad, and it was like my family and someone and our like friends of our family. I feel like it was because my dad played hide and seek with us and it was so fun. And it was in the woods. I don't know if I said that. That was the important part. It feels like another world, like another lifetime. I feel like I had a realization during it that I think maybe I had the realization of just because I can't see you doesn't mean you can't see me. I'll keep these out. Stretchy, stretchy. Pile 2. A woohoo-hoo. Welcome in, pile 2. The first things I wanted to say then was, your area is a bit of a wreck, isn't it? A wreck. Was there anything on the back of this? I feel like I checked already. I did. There could be something about feeling flustered or feeling a bit here, there, and everywhere. Let's read the ladybug card first and foremost. Good luck. That kind of makes me think of, like, okay, you may have a lot to do, but breathe and focus on just the first thing first. Or there's a sense of, like, you know there's lots to do, but you're also not getting carried away with it. I also want to note that, in case you didn't hear, the ladybug, it felt like it wasn't that in particular. It may have been a blue ladybug for you, or it was like maybe a different insect. But I feel like for most of you it's a blue ladybug. You are a bright energy. Let worry go and be happy here and now. Feel good about being a loving and colourful you. You bless the world with colour and good luck. A lot about colour. Especially given the very colour of the insect is being changed in our minds. Our minds. I shall make it change in your mind. Yeah, I feel a bit distracted with you. What have you got going on? I'm going to do a drawing in a bit, but I want to get some number cards, I wanted to call them astrological cards. So if you have any astrological cards, maybe you want to pull a few now. Have integration and throat chakra, more of the blue energy. Any more? Sacred geometry cards. I didn't finish my sentence. That miracle card like flipped up and out. I'm out of here. I think I was saying that before your reading too, maybe. I'm out of here? Maybe not. Okay, third eye chakra at the back. So it could be also that you're not actually feeling busy or like you're here, there, and everywhere, but maybe you're about to be with that third eye chakra of like what you, or maybe you're feeling like psychically here, there, and everywhere. You may resonate with needing to cleanse your energy a lot, or you might have a grounding practice of your own. I feel like I keep reiterating things like in a sense that you have your own way of doing things, and maybe you have forgotten, or maybe this is just like a message to pick them up, or that now is the time. The Pleiades. Balance, harmony. It's feeling like so structured. Everything in its place. It's not scrappy energy at all. It's like the opposite of scrappiness. So smooth. We've got circle at the back of the deck, which feels very clean too. Like nothing is out of place. That is your first message. That's funny that I'm calling it first after saying a handful of other messages. These are some number cards now. Are you like really into spirituality, or like there's lots of things that have been sparking your interest to invest time into as of late? Are you learning more? Are you putting things in place that you haven't before? There's something about beauty, and it could be beauty in expression. No, it's peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. I'm being drawn to the Himamori Luna card, which she's a princess. That's what Himamori means. Hima-sama. And she's wearing something very beautiful too. It feels a bit like a clean up before the go, go, go. Is it 81 or 18? I think it's 18. Yeah. I want to show that Pleiades card close up, because it feels so fitting for your reading. Really? It came out in the reading and it's fitting? There's something about fitting. 8. Are any of you from that pile the other day who got like 5 8s or something? 8. There is power in structure. This feels like a light-hearted reading, but I'm willing to bet that it could be extravagant. But it's so simple. There's something so simple about all of this. It really feels like you're cleaning up. You're just clean. You're clean. You're clean. 30 at the back of the deck. I feel like that might have also been the back of the deck with the 8s the other day. Doesn't that energy just look like a whirlwind of mess? And it's not necessarily mess, but it's just like a lot. A lot of different elements that you're bringing together and putting in their place. Are some of you like tidying or cleaning your room right now? And some of you are like, that is so like diminishing the the magical experience that you're going through. I feel like for a lot of you this is more of like a spiritual clean, but that might be manifesting in the physical too. Miracle. So 3 3. We've got a lot of 3s, and 3 plus 5 is 8 too. 82. I hate you. Are some of you just like saying that to me right now? And for me to give that response, maybe that's an experience that you're having, like others hating you perhaps, and I'm seeing like a sports where you just like hit it back, but it's not like back at them, it's just like waha, like throwing it anywhere. Home run. That made me think of Wii Sports. I feel like there's something big here, but you're up for it, or it's coming through in such a light-hearted way. Let me move this a bit here so you can see as I draw. There's been like a crumbling in my voice, I think, in your reading. And you do have the throat chakra. There's a trail that you're leading. And again, this is feeling quite like a beautiful image. Venusian energy. It feels pleasant. Are some of you also like listening in the shower or something? Okay, I'm gonna get some more cards so I can stop reiterating the same message and get a grip. Oh, you're a good one, aren't you? You're one of the ones that I play with in my picker cards. Joop. Even now, I'm just smiling. I'm not thinking of anything. Just smiling. I'm kind of expecting something to go wrong. Maybe that's the essence you're feeling. It's like everything is going right. Everything is going right. There might be a lot of like newness energy you're picking up on too, whether that be very easily perceivable or not. And you might be expecting it to fall at some point. Okay. That's your... I was going to say reading. That's it. That's your reading. Done and dusted. See, done and dusted. It's more about cleaning. It's not actually done. We're not done here. I'll never be done. Yeah, cards. Let's get more cards. These. Aina, my favourite cards. Well, actually, it's my favourite thing in the world, but I don't know if they're my favourite cards yet. I haven't drawn most of them. I think the deck that this is from is my favourite deck. I do love these though, even though most of them just have a single name, a single word on them. Yeah, so there's that message of like nothing, like clean, like it's a clean slate. Great, one of the only ones with words on them, with a drawing came up, so I couldn't say the example I was trying to say. This cleanliness, it's like you can love cleanliness. There's nothing wrong with not a lot going on. Some of you are just enjoying life and there's not really much to read into. I swear my throat keeps going weirdly with you. I'm going to read the integration card. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. Do you think that, like, a part of yourself that isn't very busy or just simply enjoys the peace of what is present without needing to add to it or take away, do you view that in a negative light? Do you feel like you need to have more than you have, or like do you feel like you'll never get there? Maybe look around, like, are you actually already there? And where is there that can be that doesn't have to be any one specific goal that you had in place, but maybe you naturally err in the side of anxiety or stress or worry. I was trying to say like speediness. Not that word. Some of you may not be cleaning because you don't fully trust that it's time, but it's time. It's kind of giving this like ladybug energy of good luck, like good luck, because it's like, you know, you're about to go on stage, or you goo on stage. You're about to become a goop on stage. The thing is here, so you're being wished good luck. But it's also like good luck is already here. Let worry go and be happy in the here and now. I feel like you have everything. There's nothing to stress about. Because I kind of think of cleaning as like something that you can do when you have so much time on your hands too. Okay, any character cards? What energy are you currently experiencing? I love it when the cards pop out immediately as I ask the right question. Clover. Ooh. Okay, I'm hearing that in the normal sense of clover, good luck. Luck is definitely on your side if you believe in luck. And if you don't, it still is. Okay, so you're embodying... No, I feel like that's it. I feel like it's not the character Clover. There's so much to the character Clover. And yet it's actually not anything about any of those complications. It's just so simple. It's clean, it's simple. Maybe I really do endure a reading right here. Right here, right now. At the back of the deck is Ayanami, who connects to the colour blue in the sense that she is a lover of water. Oh, that could be significant too, because without the sea it says lover. Without the sea, without the clutter, it's lover. Oh, that is your reading. That is your reading. Come on. Come on. Without the clutter, it is lover. Some of you like just need to brush your teeth and boom, done, ready. I think that might actually be your reading. I'm gonna clear it, so if you feel like going, bye-bye. But maybe we'll see if there's like a whole other... One moment. Hey, okay. See, cleansing my throat. Making that pathway clear. Yeah, I'll see if there might be like a whole other message. Maybe we'll get like a random reading, like, shall I do that? That sounds kind of fun. I know I didn't give any examples. A few came to my head, but I couldn't say them. I can only say what I want to say, and I didn't want to say them. I actually did want to say them, but I'm too divinely guided. Woe is me. Is that how you're feeling right now? Flop. You're a flop. You're a blue, a fly. A flying blue. Oh, it flipped out. Oh no. All of the not spares. That would be a lot of spares. Now I'm thinking of bowling. Spare. Spare! Now I'm thinking of the Wii again. I thought of the Wii yesterday in a reading. Wait, did I think of it in this reading also once? I don't know. You're gonna have to comment down below and tell me. For every like this video gets, I will make a comment about the Wii. Yeah, but that message about all the clean ones just jumping right out. Jumping. Wah! Oh, that actually did a very cool thing. There's such a message in that for you. I don't have words for it, but maybe you felt it. And maybe you felt it. Okay. Letters. Let's see an animal who is very much all up in your energy right now. All grooving up in there. Sparkling around that brilliant brain of yours. Moving around that... I had bussin'. Bussin' body of yours. I don't actually know what bussin' means. That's bussin'. I know that from a couple of Australian YouTubers from like 5 years ago that I used to watch. Flop. Okay, we have Hawk Messenger. Okay, some of you are about to send someone a message or receive a message, a great message. Because all this blue, all this throat stuff, or receive something else. Spirit is sending you messages. Oh, oh my, let me just smile, and then be able to read normally. Okay. I'm trying too much. Okay. Open your greater vision to see the signs. Focus on priorities and eliminate distractions. Also, elephant connected to... It's making me think of that Hindu god. Is it Vishnu? The remover of obstacles. Whoever that one is. I haven't got into my Hindu gods yet. Only like briefly. Doop-a-doop-doo. Focus on priorities and eliminate distractions. You have a bright future. Let yourself ascend to new heights. Yeah, I feel like some of you maybe have been like waiting for takeoff. Like you were the chick, or you were like, I don't know, preoccupied in some way, building that nest. Or like cleaning the nest. And it's like, Mum's your uncle, Bob's your uncle, that's it. Not Mum's your uncle. Is that a phrase? Bob's your uncle. It's ready and you didn't even notice, or you did notice, and I'm also noticing. Elephant greatness. Love is your strength. Leadership is your path. Your wisdom inspires everyone you meet. You can overcome any problem. You will naturally and easily achieve success. I feel such creative energy here. It's the essence for me of that deck I used. My Aina deck. It's the best feeling in the world. Chop, 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 chop. This is a feeling of inspiration is here, and the ability to follow through with said inspiration is also here. Chop. Chop, chop. I kind of want to maybe get a bit of elephant. I wanted to say a cool word then. Does E come after L? Hey, look, it's Ladybug. Okay, maybe we should read that instead. Luck, life cycle. I'm not even reading the ones here. That's a weird energy. Luck, life cycle. Yeah, it's like you're reading off the past, not what's present. Or maybe you were doing this. But it's coming up in the reading at this point. So I think it's about now. It's about high time you got on them tusks. Something about tusks. Yeah, I feel like you're forgetting that you have tusks. In some sense. And I'm seeing the tusks like things that like open the mouth, like make the mouth open. You may have been ready for so long, and now it's like spirit is like forcefully opening your mouth. The piece has been created. I feel like those of you here, I feel like it's more specific surrounding communication. So I didn't like hone in on it in the before part, but those of you here, like, we literally got messenger. Sending messages. That was like the sound of something dying. It was something in particular, like a phone dying. Luck, life cycle, good omen, joy, delicate, beauty, harmless, faith. What about harmless faith, like one thing? Faith that is harmless. Well, that's no good, is it? If it's harmless faith, then what's the point in it? There could be a bit of it. Let's get tarot. I was gonna say a bit of a devilish energy. What's the point if it's just harmless? Ah! I want to say again to you, like, chop chop. Ooh. Voodoo just came to mind. Voodoo. It also says change, release, renewal. I'm like multitasking. I think I say the word like more than at the end of my life when I look back at my life that I'll enjoy. Like, I'll be like, you know what? Great life. Very fulfilling. Said the word like too many times. So we have Seven of Wands, defensiveness. And that's kind of coming before the two cards that are prominating the reading. Prominating. That are prominent within the reading that is yours. The reading that is here right now. If you've come from pile 1 also, like, do you see the change in energy? Do you see this? You see this with that empathy of yours? Okay. Knight of Swords, come on! There's communication. Knight is the suit of, like, the messenger. It takes a letter from one person and delivers it to another. And sword is the suit of air. It is the suit of words, of speech, of communication. This is a very thoughtless card of communication. Seven of Wands is like the opposite. Hey, this is Ace of Wands is like that passion, that inspiration. The inspiration for new life, the inspiration, the creativity, it's all here, it's ready. It's such a readiness energy. Like, yep, ready to go. And I'm putting that on the left side, which is like, yes, already got it. We got the Seven of Wands, we got the Ace of Wands, we got the Nine of Swords. Okay, making more of a clearer image why this is a message coming through in the pick a card reading for you. There could be so much anxiety. I'm hearing built up anxiety, so this could be something that you've waited for a long time. And then we've got Page of Swords, which again is that communication. Swift thought, analytical, very able to manipulate with words, for better or for worse, depending on the maturity level, which pages often talk about immaturity. Then there's Queen of Cups below that, so it's fine. You've got the emotional maturity backing up the immature words. Five of Cups speaks of grief, so you may have been processing a lot of emotion. And the Nine of Swords, processing not just a lot of emotion, but a lot of mental angst, mental strife, mental overthinking. Like, Nine of Cards is the thinking that is very much of the over, and the Wheel of Fortune, like, experiencing many ups and downs. The whole, you've gone around every single possibility, or maybe you've gone around every different form of communication, or you've really thought things through, or you've also, I feel like this is strongly like you needed to wait. Like, we were saying that you were doing a lot, or there may have been lots for you to clear, but it's like now you have done the clearing, or now it's ready to do the clearing. I feel like you flowed with where you were being called to. There's a strong sense of trusting spirit and the way that you felt, perhaps illogically drawn to. Like, a logic that perhaps at first you couldn't logicalize. Maybe you can't even logicalize it now. But there's the clean cutness that this energy still has. So that Seven of Wands coming up before, this speaks of feeling a need to protect oneself from jabbers, from those who seek to take you off your throne. In the Rider-Waite of Tarot, it's depicted as the person like on a pedestal, and then with the ones either like protecting her or from like those below spiking at her. Do you like my words there? I like my words there. There's a sense of bringing in self-confidence with this. Reviewing whether your sense of belief in yourself was coming from the support of others or the support of yourself. And I'm not saying either is right or wrong, but I feel like bringing in this Ace of Wands of like one of confidence is what will allow a true sense of stability. Yeah, look at that. Queen of Pentacles and strength beneath that. And 10 of Pentacles. That is the essence of confidence in your own sense of self. Stability. Strength not built off any tricks of the trade. Strength from within. Strength from relaxing. A confidence that comes from who you are without condition, without needing to show up in any one way. Because the Knight of Swords being the kind of future card, that representation of the communication alongside with the hawk and elephant. It feels very like it's like a mature immaturity, like a mature innocence of communication, because with that strength card popping out is making me think of like this greatness, the elephant, the greatness coming from simplicity, the lion being tamed through the purity. Knight of Swords is the opposite of Nine of Swords. It's Nine of Swords is over analyzing to the degree that it causes, I heard, depression, which is interesting because I feel like depression is more of like a lack of mental energy, but I guess it is coming through here at least, and my mind isn't going to say more on that trail, so yeah, the opposite being Knight of Swords is it is so much thinking too. Actually, maybe they're the same, but one is being said out, like they could have, Knight of Swords might have just the exact same number and same actual thoughts as the Nine of Swords, but the Knight of Swords says them. It's often depicted as like a chaotic speech. I love the Knight of Swords. I know that it can come up strongly in readings where it's depicting someone that is speaking harshly or speaking to cause drama, or it causes drama. Like a bite too. And just like not caring how people, like not caring about others' emotions. But I feel like that is true here, but it's being encouraged. It's like that essence we were saying of before, of where does the confidence come from, other people or yourself? So there is a lacking of caring how you're received, caring how your words are received. Expressing from that passion you have to express. Okay. Ladybug urges you to leave your worries behind and know that in due time your dreams will come true. That's the part of this that spoke to me. Actually, I will read the rest of this because it's making me think of that strength card again. With the Lady Mary, Virgin Mary part. The arrival of Ladybug is often an omen of good luck. The person with Ladybug totem is usually a lively and colourful companion. You are a bringer of joy. You are trustworthy, easygoing, and happy. Ladybug people remind others to let things flow at a natural pace. Ladybug urges you to leave your worries behind and know that in due time your dreams will come true. Ladybug medicine asks you to be true to yourself and yeah, that's what this feels. So like being true to yourself. I guess full stop. Where'd that come from? Ladybug messaging. Ladybug messaging. Let the ladybug of you message. Ladybug medicine asks you to be true to yourself and teaches you that you can never be happy living someone else's idea of life. The name Ladybug came from its association with the Virgin Mary, Lady of Heaven. Ladybugs have often been tied to spiritual devotion, and those with this totem do well with daily meditation and prayer. That was making me think of Vesta, the asteroid in astrology, in case that has significance for you here. Ladybugs have a short life cycle and reproduce many times each season. This links them to energies of renewal and abundance. My brain really slowed down at that part. This links them to energies of renewal and abundance. What was that? The short life cycle and reproducing many times. If a ladybug wanders into your life, know that good luck and cheerful happiness are just around the corner. Don't let worry ruin your happiness. Life is short, seize the day. Do not despair, joy is everywhere, and we love a good rhyming here. Don't let others dim your colours. No, and I'm not even gonna apologize for that noise. A part of my brain wanted to, but I'm not gonna. If my beautiful slap was a painful slap to you, then so be it. Yeah, there's a lack of overcomplication. It's an understanding that you can cause complication to others and that not actually needing to be your problem. Allowing what will be to be and moving with your inspiration. Moving as the day implies, like asks of you. That energy of Vesta coming through is that spiritual tie, and we have like a sense of like spiritual connection, like spiritually being led. I'll read Hawk, or we'll see what comes if something wants to come through. I always forget where H is in the alphabet. There we go. It was just before. I always forget where H is in the alphabet. A comes after H. And then W. And we don't speak about K. Yeah, I don't see an explanation for that, but maybe some of you got something from that. And if you didn't, if nobody got anything from that, then I would be surprised, but also really, really curious. Like, what? Why? Then why did I say it? Life has new meaning to me now. Yeah, there's a curiosity that is flowing through for you. Courage, swiftness, clear sight, focus, intensity, premonition. Yeah, premonition is that energy. Fidelity, higher purpose is that energy. Discernment, messages from spirit is, or like messages from your spirit, or messages from spirit is that energy. The hawk with its extraordinary vision and high vantage point. Yeah, I feel like this is like bigging up you. You the hawk with your extraordinary vision and high vantage point, have the ability to see what others cannot. Hawks, you are associated with the realm of the ancient gods. Ooh, that's cool. You're associated with the realms of the ancient gods? Which gods? Jupiter and Mercury. Ah! Jupiter and Mercury both had Hawk as their ally. You were Mercury and Jupiter's ally? Hawk is often called messenger of the gods. To see a hawk or hear its shrill cry can be a warning to be more aware. That's everyone else's warning. Like, if they see you coming, better be, I don't know. Is that your fear, perhaps? Like, oh no, here comes Hawk. To see a hawk or hear its shrill cry can be a warning to be more aware. Maybe you really inspire strong awareness in others. Look to all the details, and I feel like I got really loud then. I wonder if you are really loud, or if that's like your natural way of being. Knight of Swords also just like would speak and speak and speak. That makes me think of like they also would not care about how loud they're being or the tone of voice they have. Look to the details and omens to pause and reflect on what may be amiss. That's what other people's do. They're like, I don't quite get it. Hawks mate for life, and their pair raises their young in a strong and secure nest. Well, it's strong and secure now that you've like made it and cleaned it. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop now. But maybe I won't, because your energy isn't that of stopping. It's going, 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 going. Hawks look out for family. When embroiled in family issues, take flight and breathe the fresh air. Too much emotion can cloud Hawk's clear vision. Oh, 100% for you, I feel that. I feel like that might have been what was causing so much distress. Like you were processing a lot of emotion. That of the water element. Too much emotion can cloud Hawk's clear vision. Hawk always means, unless the water is really clear. Okay. So I guess it's saying it depends on the emotion, whether too much of it clouds your vision or not. Hawk always means spirit is at hand. Hawk people... I almost said something then. Hawk people benefit from focus and sharp observation to guide them to a best outcome. Yeah, I love that. It's not the best outcome, it's a best outcome. They believe in a bright future because they soar above others and see the way to success in all ventures. That's the Seven of Wands energy. Being a bit ahead of the game in some sense. Maybe in other people's game, though, perhaps not in yours. Although you are coming through as the Knight of Swords, so maybe it is in your game. They believe in a bright future because they soar above others and see the way to success in all ventures. Optimism is one of Hawk's virtues. I love that. Optimism is one of Hawk's virtues. Choosing the ver. If Hawk calls you, it may be wise to spend some time studying the currents of life and follow where they lead. The wind with its power and direction will be your guide. You can fly and reach the sky. You are stronger than you think, braver than you believe, and wiser than you know. To the contrary, have you lost your bird's eye view? Are you missing the obvious? Is it time to get more focused on family or goals? Are you listening to the messengers of the gods? Or has emotion clouded your perception? And to that, my good friend, I close this book. Close that chapter. And begin anew in this cleansed, lovely, clean one. Okay, that was fun. Enjoyed your energy. See ya. Out I go. Oh yeah, I feel like I thought I was gonna love pile 3's energy, but I ended up loving pile 2's energy. What does pile 3 have for me? I feel like singing musicals in particular. That was not going to be a musical. I don't know what parts to express. Pile 3, welcome in. I'm preemptively beginning your reading. I don't know what parts to express is something that I said. So that's my bees. Bees, buzzy bees. Let's get an animal card. As I continue the remainder of my sentence, which was something with words, probably. You might have like a shocking revelation to impart. Maybe this is something you do on the fly, on the usual. Is that in the viewpoint? The viewpoint. I feel like you say things that aren't in the viewpoint of others. Okay. I feel like your reading might have a very specific direction, but we might not get there immediately. And again, I'm going to veer that towards you. I feel like you sometimes take your time to get to the point. And with that coming with squirrel energy, always prepared, it's like they don't eat all the nuts they find, they collect them and they store them. It sometimes takes a while for the cycle to come back round. I feel like you could be quite slow, and yet you have like a spark or an electricity to you. You might really resonate with nature and find yourself really drawn to trees or drawn to even nuts. I want to say, like, the food you eat may be more vegetation. Yeah, it's this elephant energy of you're really big and kind of, I want to say, perceived as slow, but you're also mighty and I'm wanting to say people shouldn't cross you, which isn't a phrase that I would often say, which is very interesting. And I feel like the way I'm speaking is what's wanting to be drawn to our attention. I feel like you're a very collective-oriented individual. You know what to say to get people to go your way, or you have a way of being that ripples out into the rest of your expression. It's like who you are is very much how you express yourself, what you do. You might find that your art, for example, looks very much like you, or maybe you do a lot of self-portraits. That's an interesting message. Or maybe a lot of your art is centered around yourself, around who you are. It could be around who others are, but I feel like it's about you, which is weird because there's such a for other energy here. Yeah, I'm like, what's that called? Not bodyboarding. Scales, like, but the scales that you sit on as a kid and go up and down and up and down. A seesaw. I feel like I'm seesawing from myself to other with you. Back of the deck is moose. Yeah, you got a bit of moose energy. Big, mighty, grand, but a bit like awkward, a bit weird, a bit confusing, a bit very unique. A bit of Aquarian energy. But it's like Aquarius crossed with like Cancer or Taurus. It's like that spark of ingenuity from Aquarius, but the slowness and gentleness of a Taurus or a snake. Or a Cancer. Yeah, I wonder if you have snake energy. There are no snakes in this deck, so let's get my animal deck, which does have snakes in. What should we use that? No, let's use mine. I feel like you might have a really strong connection to animals. I know I already said that thing with nature. I didn't really say a thing with nature though. Oh, we'll use these cards too. Hup. Hup, hup, ho. I think you make everything fit for you. I'm seeing an example to explain this with artwork where any like perceived wrong stroke or whatever the art form is, like strong molding or strong whatever, strong move, it's lent into by you. You don't shy away from illness. You don't shy away from that which is commonly viewed as distortion or darkness or wrongness. Like there's no such thing as wrong, I feel, from you. You see the way. You see the way. And again, I think later in the reading we're going to get to a specific message for you. If you're trying to get an answer on a specific situation, whether it be seemingly to do with what I'm talking about or not, I feel like we'll get there. But I think maybe the way to getting there truly is like an understanding of who you are more, or of the way you move. Again, I want to reiterate, you have a slowness, but it's got a surprising sting or spike. Okay, so that's snake energy too. It's like you're on the ground. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you felt drawn to pile 1 also. But it's such a different energy here. It's like the future more than the past. You're an adult here. You're a... I want to say more like you feel tapped into something that isn't quite animals, isn't quite like super extraterrestrial feeling or other species is, but it's like a flowing aspect of yourself. I guess it feels more ancestral than anything, but I wouldn't usually describe that energy as ancestral feeling. Maybe I would. Maybe we were gonna get messages from a particular guide of yours. It could be your spirit guides we're tapped into, or your children, or something. Ooh! Okay, this is really interesting. This is exactly it. I love it. I love it. I love you. Flamingo. Fla fla fla, flamingo. Pink, pink, pink. Yeah, that empathy energy, because flamingos are only pink because they, like the water they drink or the food they eat. I think it's like maybe what is in the water they drink. Maybe it is the food. I don't know. Something about what they consume turns their feathers pink, which is this empathic feeling. And I mentioned eating, and you might feel drawn to eating more vegetation. I feel like it's like you have a sensitivity that doesn't feel sensitive. I feel like you're very attuned in with your needs. Or this might be an area of life that you're really focused on as of late. One moment, my electric blanket just turned off. But we have leopard and slug, which is just that speed versus complete slowness. Turn him on, turn on that heat again. Yeah, that comfort, that nourishment. Looking after yourself. Yeah, if you did have a question in mind, or there's something that you're trying to work out, or something you kind of wanted a reading on, I'd say that the answer is in looking after yourself. viewing your specific needs. Looking at, with that flamingo, looking at what color you have turned and why. What have you been eating that caused you to turn that color? I must be orange because I love my carrots. Why am I saying that? I'm gonna use this deck though because of that. Because that made me think of the third eye. And this has chakras in it. It has a third eye chakra card. Conception. Yeah, the beginning point. Where does it come from? That's your question. Where does it come from? Why is this the way it is? Why are you the way you are? Conception. The frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything... Why didn't this card come up in pile 1? If you feel drawn to pile 1, I really would suggest it. But not if you don't feel called to it, obviously. Just some of you might have been on the edge, and this can be the confirmation to push you in the direction. In the other direction, in the not doing it. Why am I saying that? That is the Aquarius energy coming through, perhaps, of because you told me to, I'm not going to. Because you told me to, I'm not going to. I can't see how that correlates yet. Maybe it will become clear, or maybe it already is clear to you. So the frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our focused awareness and intention. At the back of the deck is authority. I feel like you're really being asked to take control over what you allow into your body, what you allow into your aura, your energy, yourself. Who are you? Who are you, and what is the cleansed version of you? It might be a bit of pile 2 coming in. Hi, pile 2. Gotta love a pile 2er. Okay, communication. Yes, I see. that pile 2's was all about communication. That was pile 2 saying hi back. And with that coming through with your reading, pile 3, I feel like there's this essence of collaboration that we were talking about. Like I was just talking to pile 2 within pile 3's reading. I feel like you're being asked to balance how much of yourself you have a focus on and how much of others you have a focus on. Some of you quite simply may need some space to realign with your own vibration. Like getting out in nature, eating the foods that feel cleansing and not bogging down, being around those who don't feel like a burden but feel like a blessing. Yeah, your reading is about being your own authority, deciding what can and cannot interrupt you. And for a lot of you, that will include pinpointing what the quote-unquote illness is. Or perhaps not quote-unquote. What are you taking on that isn't necessary for your health? Let's get some number cards to go beside here. I quite felt that energy besides. Maybe some of you find it very easy to make excuses for others, or make up excuses to do with something. Because I felt that besides energy was a bit of like a like making up loads of reasons why you can't take time to be with yourself, or why you have to be giving to others, or why your energy is more conducive elsewhere. Like why others deserve you more than you deserve you. Something along those lines. Okay, numbers for pile 3. Wee! Pile 3, wee! 3 rhymings. And the funny thing was I had wanted to rhyme, but then I was like, you know what, I probably won't think of anything to rhyme with, and then I let go of the need to find the thing to rhyme with, and then immediately I naturally rhymed twice, which was more than double the amount I was trying to rhyme with or thinking of I would want to rhyme with. 88 coming through, okay. And 25. Two 7 energies. They in view? Mostly. Wait. There we go. Some of you may just need like a tiny bit. There's like a small adjustment that you can make that would make like the world of difference. That would really allow yourself to be fully seen, to be taken care of more. I feel like it could have to do with who you keep around you. 13, the number 4. This could also have to do, for some of you, with taking care of your children. This is just going to be a message for some, I presume. With how much is needed from you for them. Or it's more like the way in which you interact. Or some of you, I feel like, this could be everyone, but take it as it resonates. Something to do with an attachment to being the giver. Perhaps you've placed your own value in what you provide for others, in perhaps others needing you. And so there could be a fear of detaching from being that nurturance, from being that provider, because you fear that that is why you're wanted, why you're valued. So then that would be one of these cores, like where is it coming from? So some of your actions may be coming from a feeling of lack, a feeling of unsafety. So then you can rephrase who you feel yourself to be. Some of you may be experiencing that. I forgot what it's called, but the thing where your children leave the nest and you feel like, okay, now what? Like you might be feeling like you're more your own person now. Or some of you may have lost someone that you were taking care of. Maybe in some sense you could have finished a project also, and there's a sense of like all your energy was going to one place, or there was a lot of your energy. There was a lot of your energy being taken up somewhere. This is that specific message I was getting at the start. I think we've got there. And I feel like coming home to feeling who you really are without the giving, without this child, or without this subject, without the other, is gonna be so freeing and heart-centering, aligning, that you feel like it's safe and pleasant to exist simply as yourself. Your value can be in who you are, not necessarily what that is, not what who you are is, but simply you. You in any of your forms. You are what is valuable. Yeah, I feel like that might be it for your reading. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, pile 3. That was a bit of a speedy one, but it feels like the kind of reading I would expect to have been the one that took the longest. But actually, it was quite matter of fact. It had a step-by-step plan. It had it had a structure. Some of you might really just resonate with having more of a schedule to help you. That might provide you with a lot of ease, or like not being completely open to anyone at any time, but being like, okay, you can contact me during these hours, or letting people know, hey, I'm not gonna be available for this, this, and this. Maybe some Virgos up in here. Or Cancers. Or 7th houses. Okay, bye-bye. I feel like I didn't say goodbye. Yeah, that feels like the message was like leaving things a bit too open-ended as opposed to with firmer boundaries, perhaps. So, goodbye, pile 3. This is the end for you. For me. For you and me. Pile 4. I laughed because I felt so out of it. For those of you who remain, who have snuck under the radar. Welcome in 4. Ooh, I didn't say pile 4. I said 4. You're missing something. You've missed something very obvious. I think that's the primary message this is going to be. But who knows? We'll see. So you got the Desert Rose. I think you're the first pile I've also described, said the name of the crystal. There's something about putting a firm name, labeling something. This is this. This is this. I found it. I found it now. Describing something. The example that just came to mind then was defining a relationship. Interesting. Defining. Yeah, defining. Full stop. Lizard regeneration feels like that. Okay, I've filled up this old skin and it's time to become the new. It's time to put on your new cloak. Yeah, as a survivor, you are unparalleled. No matter what happens, you can adapt. Embrace your transformation. Put on your new cloak. You are a master of regeneration. Are some of you like on the run? There's a bit of that energy here. Okay, we're gonna start with some dragon and animal cards. I might do a bit of drawing for you too. We'll see. Is there anything in the back of yours? I think there might be, yeah. It's a portal that doesn't look like a portal. There's a lot about misdirection and a bit of 7 of Swords energy. Manipulation. There is a message for those that this resonates for, of not needing to do things in a moralistic way, or like the way that your morals used to. It's like a question your morals, question what love would really do, because you may have like been trying to knock at the front door but no one was coming, and so there's or you may have been trying to leave through the front door but it was locked, so there's a call to leave through the back door, or walk around the house to knock on the back door. Going where you're led, even if that's something that you might usually question or feel is maybe a bit dishonest. Rhinoceros, be strong and courageous. Archangel Sandalphon and Roquiel. Music could help during this, or music could confirm the circumstances, because there's a bit of, like, again, that misdirection energy, which feels like it's a part of the situation, and thus that's why you're being called into this energy of mutability, because the surroundings themselves are mutable. So in order to, like, conquer the challenges, conquer the path, you're being asked to take everything into consideration, take the conditions of where you're at into consideration. Okay, at the back of the deck is Ant, cooperate for the highest good of the community. And then Owl beneath that, yeah. Listen to the messages of the angel. So Owl can be a bit, Owl is very discerning. It can be an omen of threat, is what's coming to mind. Night vision also has been really strongly highlighted, and the ability to see in every direction. There's such, like, powerful intuition, and there's a need for powerful intuition here, it feels like, because of a tricky situation is what it feels like. And cooperate for the highest good of the community feels like what's on your mind, like, again, that message of trying to do things the right way as opposed to the way that fits for the situation. Okay, I've reiterated that enough. Let's get more cards. I want to use some tarot. Oh, actually, first these. Oh, actually. Okay, we'll take them. Green Nymph. You may be being called to speed up, or there might be a sudden gust of wind. Maybe more information will come really suddenly. So we have Zeta, Polarians, Pleiades, and Circle. Circle is making me think of that, like, honorable energy, and that coming up in the far left makes me think of, again, that's where you're coming from, trying to do things very deliberately in a circumstance that might not require that. Magpie. Yeah, magpie can be a bit deceptive. It can be a bit bordering between good and bad, like what is good and bad. Again, I want to say, given the circumstances, where does your heart call you? Because I think your mind could have an attachment to being right, or to a certain goodness, a certain expression of love that might not actually feel like that is true love in this circumstance. It could have to do with being rid of something. Again, with that energy that I mentioned at the start, like, are you on the run? We have whale shark. Could have to do with family, or like a large collective. Hiding from a large collective. And red panda. Oh, we'll definitely get some... This is balance too. You have a couple energies that are very, like, balancing, or duality. And jellyfish is like everything. It's not just... It's all encompassing. It's not black and white. Let's put him there. Sacred geometry. I don't know if I finished my wordings that I wanted to use a sacred geometry card. I'm feeling the need for speed. The need for speed. This could have... This could be on a time crunch, time limit. Either that, or you're feeling that. I'm feeling more like that is true. So we have integration. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. I'm gonna hold that up. Some of you might want to screenshot that. Yeah, this is not really viewing anything as right and wrong. This is allowing what is to be. Third eye chakra. The frequency of the third eye chakra, the indigo flower of life, supports our intuition and our inner knowing, our imagination and our psychic powers. Again, with that owl essence of like being on alert, really taking care of yourself where you feel that necessary. Perception. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. I feel like the situation you're in, I'm being really drawn to the head of the lizard. Let's read that. There might be something at the top of the guidebook for it. But I also feel like you're being asked to be more in your body, maybe more in action, as opposed to more in inaction, more in your head, because I feel like you might be worrying about a sense of like wrongness that just comes from a fear of losing access to unconditional love. You feel like if you're wrong, that somehow loses you peace, loses your right to live for some of you. And there's this more questioning of whether that's actually something you believe or whether that's something that you were simply taught as a child, something your parents stripped you of when you didn't adhere to their ideas of goodness or rightness. Perhaps you lost connection to them, you were scolded maybe. Made to believe that there needed to be a right way and a wrong way. Whereas this is bringing in such a love energy of do what you gotta do to keep yourself safe and keep yourself out of harm's way. I feel like there's something that's harming you, I feel like, and you're feeling a strong knowing of what needs to be done to relieve the struggle, to unlock yourself, to free yourself, to get out of the difficulty. And it just may ruffle some feathers, or it may require a strength in okay, the way I'm gonna say this is, if some people view this situation and what you're feeling, the actions you're feeling called to take, it might be so easy for a lot of people to just see that one action and call it wrong or to misunderstand you because they don't see the whole situation and they don't see how you're being treated, or they don't understand your feelings. It's like a lot of people, it feels like they don't have the full picture, and so they won't be able to understand. And my compassion and love goes out to you. And I feel like that's what you're being called to be in for yourself. Be strong and courageous. I wanted to repeat that. Rhinoceros, and I'm going to hold that card up for you too. The rhinoceros energy could really help you too. It might help you feel really safe. Like you can really do this. Like it's really okay. Like who cares? Who cares about the details? I'm gonna put myself in an environment that cares for me. Yeah, I feel like you're really hard on yourself. Like you have a sense of perfectionism. Lizard. Smart, adaptable, quick camouflage. Oh my god, yeah. The lizard literally maneuvers through struggle. Okay. Smart, adaptable, quick camouflage, regeneration, growth, instinctual. Yeah, instinctual. Stillness, survivor, dreamer, survivor. Lizard is an ancient one. They are reptiles from an older time. Did I use the animal dragons deck? Yeah, I did, but we didn't get any. We just got the rhino from the animal part. Lizard is an ancient one. They are reptiles from an older time. Their quick action and yeah, I said something about like speed. Their quick action, and because it's like you're just being called to move, whether that be with grace or not. Their quick action and quirky maneuvers outwit and confuse their adversaries. Lizards survive. Yeah, lizards survive. Lizard is sometimes called the little dragon. Lizard medicine has the power of regeneration and transformation. Lizards can shed their skin, their tail, let go of the past and step into a positive future. Lizard people know they can survive anything and heal against incredible odds. They are powerful dreamers and should pay attention to messages that come from their subconscious. Yes, that's what this so feels like. Pay attention to the messages that you're feeling called towards, that your gut instinct, your third eye, what's going on beneath the surface, what you know is true. They are powerful dreamers and should pay attention to messages that come from their subconscious. You may also be getting really strong messages from spirit during this time, like you can really recognize it outside of yourself. So when it says subconscious, for you it might be very conscious too. Did I say music for you? I think I did, yeah, because Archangel Sandalphon, I think Sandalphon is strongly to do with music. Sandalphon himself and Rockwhale could be angels who you connect with during this time too. But yeah, I was getting that message again of you may feel extra supported from your guides and from spirit through your music, through what you're hearing. They are powerful dreamers and should pay attention to the two messages that come from their subconscious or conscious. You can receive warnings that will help you avoid pitfalls. Yeah, that feels like what this is. Like a green light in the go ahead and move. If lizard is your totem, you have the little dragon within. Dragons are those who are free of the limitations of the past and transform into greater awareness of self and personal power. With lizard medicine, you can transcend injury and hardship. Lizard people regrow and renew themselves into wholeness. I think that was really important. Some of you may want to highlight that. I just saw that, highlighting those words. So I guess I'll put this up in case you want to screenshot. Ah! Just hit my head. Hey, that message of the head again. Lizard is an ancient one, also really stuck out to me. But I didn't say it because I couldn't see how. So again, that feels to do with your message of maybe you're not saying something, maybe you're not standing up for yourself because you don't feel like you have all the details or you don't see how. But there's a call to do it regardless. Like trust yourself, trust your gut. And ask for help too. You can so easily get confirmation. Like I hope this reading is for you. Where did that come from? Yeah, like when you trust your gut, I'm sure that you will also see the ripples of confirmation of that gut. It's the feeling of leap and the net will appear. Leap and the proof will appear. Yeah, where you're feeling called to, where your intuition is guiding you. Greater awareness of self and personal power. With that's the part I stumbled over that. Oh no, I stumbled over the lizard people. Okay, with lizard people. Okay, let me start again. Yeah, starting again. Regeneration, new life. Lizard people regrow and renew themselves into wholeness. Clairvoyance and extrasensory perception belong to the evolved lizard. Yes, extrasensory perception. Okay, the contrary is, do you need to discard layers of your life? Do you need to scurry away from something? Do you have old wounds? Take time to bask in the sun's healing rays. Hurry and scurry away from worry. Oh my god, I love that. Okay, I'm gonna leave your reading on that, pile 4. Hurry and scurry away from worry. I love you very much. And actually, those of you who feel called to leave, do so. However, I think I'm gonna clean this and I kind of want to get you some extra cards. Maybe we can do it like specifically, some like synchronicities that will be confirming for you. Like extra signs that your guides can use to point you in the direction that you feel called to. Oh, I will start with this deck, surprisingly, actually. Oh, I had keep that out. Okay. I think it's because I still haven't really got the message of the head. I thought I had kind of with the mind. I was saying like you might be in your mind as opposed to in your body. In like what you're trusting, what you're leaning into. Your head. Something has come to a head, but I'm noting that I like when I got up, I hit my head on my like light thing. Okay. It keeps making me think of when I cracked my head. That's when I soul swapped. But I didn't really see that within your reading, so I didn't mention it. Okay, I think it really could have to do with that, because this is a card that I think in another reading of mine came up and I mentioned cracking my head in that, because this looks like a scar, a crack, and then it looks a bit like a bubble coming out, like a spirit coming out of the crack. Okay. Yeah, you got the blank card. A new life, regeneration, newness. So for those of you who feel like you're a new soul, that newness, that could be strong confirmation for you. But also there's a whole sense of like with this new self that you are integrating, whether you resonate with being a new soul or not, what fits in your life, what vibrates surrounding you, what is in resonance now. You might be letting go of an entire reality, an entire old life that you had that was surrounding who you once were, as opposed to who you are now. There may have been others that you previously trusted that you no longer do. Whether they have shown you reasons to not trust them or not, it's like your gut knows. You may have been through a sudden awakening of sorts, or you really are tapping into your own awareness very strongly, and you're seeing so much, or you're feeling like there's a whole world that you weren't seeing, a whole truth that is coming to light. Okay, so trees, but like antenna trees could be significant, or bodies that view. Because I'm seeing this like an eye, like, what's that called? Like a, not camera, well, not satellites, maybe satellites. What am I viewing? Like cameras that like watch you, like they're around neighborhoods sometimes. Neighborhood watch, that could be something. Was it your pile that I mentioned carrots in? Because this looks like a carrot to me. And this looks like a carrot, and this looks like a carrot. I know that you wanted, I think it might have been the other pile. Because I thought of the third eye when I said carrot. And that's why I went to use my sacred geometry deck. This one. And I think you got integration and third eye, right? But I don't think that third eye came out on the pile that I thought of carrots for. Because I feel like I would have been like, haha, carrots, I knew it, the third eye. But I don't think I was. And that's just making me think of strong premonition. But also, like, it feeling out of sorts. Like, maybe you even have, like, some sort of logical proof that is going against what you see, what you know in your gut to be true. Because it's not actually the area is in the wrong place, or the time isn't yet. Like, it doesn't mean that what you perceived to be true was wrong. It just means that the circumstances to prove it haven't come up. And I feel like they will later. But it might be a ways down the road. Okay. Yeah, this looks like a tree again also to me. But it gets larger at the top is what I'm going to say. Travel, vehicles, but raindrops also. Vehicles to do with water, maybe driving in the rain. I want to take this guy too. The red dot, that could be synchronistic. Also, Pirates of the Caribbean, what do they call that? The black spot. The, like, black spot that comes on the hand. I feel like that was like a sign, a premonition of, like, death maybe coming. And in this reading, death representing transformation, change, it's being brought up again, an omen of change. Maybe there's a message in that movie for you if you feel like watching it. I don't know which one the black spot comes in. Though I don't think it's Dead Man's Chest, because I feel like I've watched that one the most. And I feel like that doesn't happen in that one. I also don't think it's in... what's the one where... Like, with the first one, the Black Pearl. I don't think it's that one either. Woo! So this one, kangaroos, Joey's. It's making me think of Joey from Friends. So TV shows, you might get a lot, and with this coming under the eye, what you see, what you watch, television shows could have a lot of synchronicities for you. So watching what you're feeling drawn to, even if, like, you ordinarily wouldn't, if your gut tells you to, then there could be a lot of synchronicities for you in entertainment, in what you see, or in characters. If things pop to your head also, like quotes or characters, they could have strong meaning for you too. And again, this one came out. This one is like a vehicle energy too, but this one makes me think of astral projection. Also, it looks like, what's that Quidditch? The snakes. What's that called? I haven't watched Harry Potter for a long time. The really fast, small golden ball that flies, that they have to catch in Quidditch. Okay. Snoring also, which makes me think of animations, like an exaggerated, like, bubble of snot. Oh my god, that's a bubble of snot. Okay. An exaggerated bubble out of one's nose to show the snoring. So yeah, what you're watching. Crossing over to jumping, leaping, sports. Snails, or snail tracks in general. There's a lot about vehicles and moving. Flame, the inner flame, which makes me think of Vesta, which was again in another pile. So if you feel drawn to another pile, maybe there are messages in that for you, but only take that if it feels right, as with everything. Okay, I want to get a few more for you. Which ones? Let's use these ones. These are a bit random. The great chickpea. The head, only the head is showing, like repeatedly the head is being brought to my attention. I do not know what that's about. Let's try and get some tarot to see what that's about. So the great chickpea and purple moonstone. Purple moonstone, that just feels like intense intuition. And the great chickpea feels like, what does that feel like in this energy? Revelation. It feels like the core, like I'm thinking of like my favorite thing. The food that is at the center of me. That has transformed from just an ordinary bean. It's not a bean, is it? Are chickpeas beans? I can't think of legume. Is it a legume? It's gone from being ordinary to like having a glowing aura of gold. So the color gold also. Okay. At the back of the deck is Fox, 9-tailed crystalline shapeshifter. So there is a fox card in my animal deck, but that didn't come out for you. This is a purer kind of fox. Okay, so again, it's making me feel like this isn't speaking necessarily of like, hey, watch out for deception around you. It's more like, well, that might be a given at this point, but this card is speaking to you being the fox. It's like an enlightened fox. It's shape-shifting to a benefit, not shape-shifting to a detriment. It's a sense of mastery, which also comes through with the great chickpea. Master manipulation. Manipulation for healing from a sense of purity. Yeah, pure deception. Innocent deception. Okay, I love that I'm gonna keep that out. Yeah, and let's finish off with some tarot, but actually I'm feeling like getting so much for you. Okay. A rune. Algaes. That is connection to spirit. That is a combination of connection to spirit and protection. Protection from spirit. You can so call in protection from so many places at this time. You're being so guided through this. You're not alone, like at all. And it's simply a trusting that, a allowing yourself to listen to the support that you're receiving from the unseen, probably, or that which is often described as unseen. Though to you, I would presume it is very much seen. Okay. Any extra messages for powerful? The love that they are, yeah. Okay, Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is that of having very clear boundaries, and she doesn't allow emotion to sway her. It's an understanding, so it's still personal. This makes me think of this could be a one-on-one situation as opposed to like a one versus like a lot of abstract energies or a lot of like if it was the King of Swords, it would make me think of more like a battlefield, like there's a lot of different people involved perhaps, or there's a lot of I'm not sure how to explain it other than I'm just seeing this confirming a sense of like, even if it's multiple, it's something direct, something that can be cut clean in a precise way. So it's like the precision element of it is making me think of relationships where you can see that this is about a person in particular. This could also have to do with communicating that which you're sensing. communicate your boundaries. Yeah, Two of Swords is then an unsureness whether you can trust your gut. It's a feeling of like knowing that you want to put in boundaries, but feeling fear around, I don't know if I can trust my intuition. Do I follow my head or do I follow my heart? Do I follow my senses or do I follow what is being shown to me? Because what's being shown to me doesn't feel like anything that I can go off. Yeah, and death. Transformation. Putting an end to something. King of Pentacles. The Six of Wands. Oh, I love that for you. That's just like the safest you can get, and success. It's coming out on top. It's being so supported. It's a victory. Celebrating your stability, celebrating your transformation, celebrating your, I'm gonna say it again, your newfound safety, protection, being taken care of. Queen of Wands ending is this confidence that comes through from the death. It's a wielding of the fire, and perhaps for some of you a creative outlet that this sparks within you, but for like an expression of all that you've been through, allowing the pain of the fire or the process to inspire you moving forwards. And I think for a lot of you that's speaking to a sense of elevation, a sense of co-creation from that authentic authority space. Feeling of empowerment. Like you can really rely and trust on yourself. Trust on yourself. We've got King of Wands too, which is also like it's not just you can trust, but you are aligning with others that you can really trust too. I'm going to move these all up so you can see the former. It could also be that this is talking about setting boundaries with a King of Pentacles figure, who could be someone who is stuck in their ways, someone who has a very fixed mindset and who isn't so mutable. And with the Two of Swords being like the indecision, being clarified with a Six of Wands, it's a sense of going where you know your own victory is, where your own sense of pride is supported, like pride being like an energy I'm meaning of you being celebrated, you being allowed to feel in your own, you being cheerled, you being loved in your expansiveness, in all of you, being supported as opposed to torn down. And then death being clarified with the Queen of Wands. It just feels to me like a confidence in that death. I feel like it's who you become, because Queen of Swords is very that feels like you in this situation, needing to be emotionless, needing to be based on your own logical intuition and not allowing emotion to cloud your judgment. And then you feel like through this transformation, through leaving the old behind, it feels like you turn into the Queen of Wands, who is full of life, who isn't lackluster, who doesn't need to shut off from their emotion, but can, like, who is so inspired by life, who gets to really experience life, who feels full As opposed to the Queen of Swords, who feels like they need to forget about that and put that on the side and deal with the nitty-gritty, deal with the struggle that's in front of them. Queen of Wands feels like she's got everything sorted. That doesn't need to be thought of. I'm even seeing how the card is on my cards. This is like the off-print deck. It's printed slightly to the right. It's like there's a border around the left. There's a border around all the other energies, where because of what she did as the Queen of Swords, she's now able to play. She's now able to sit on her own throne and have that throne be supporting her strength. Be the strength that supports her emotion. It's like emotion in a life-giving way, in an energized way. Yeah, I'm getting the sun energy from this too. There's a love of life that comes through there. And again, I want to say so much support. There's so much supportive energy over here. Yeah, I feel like you're choosing that you can take care of yourself, and that is mirroring in aligning with others who also want to take care of you. Okay, pile 4, that is it for your reading. I love you very much and wish you much courage and confidence throughout your journey of transformation and leading into the newness that life is ushering you towards. Okay, bye bye. See you in another if I do, or see you in the Queen of Wands energy you'll be in. If not, through the elements of life. I'll feel ya.